Meet Sam. Like any other 8th grader, Sam uses energy to walk to school, talk to friends, play soccer, study for a test, and to do just about everything. But where does all this energy come from? The answer is food. The only way the body can get the energy it needs is by eating 3 basic food nutrients: carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. How do you measure energy? Energy is expressed in calories. By definition, 1 calorie is the amount of energy it takes to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. For convenience, we use calorie with an uppercase C, which actually refers to 1,000 calories, or 1 kilocalorie. To give you a better perspective, the average 8th grader needs 2,000 calories with an uppercase C, or 2,000 kilocalories, a day to stay alive. A gram of carbohydrates and a gram of protein both yield 4 calories, while a gram of fat yields 9 calories. Let's start with carbs, or carbohydrates. On a molecular level, carbohydrates are made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. It's easy to remember this by looking at the name. Carbo stands for carbon, while hydrate means water, which is made of hydrogen and oxygen atoms. These elements combine to form 3 basic sugars: glucose, fructose, which is found in fruit, and galactose. These 3 sugars are called monosaccharides. 2 monosaccharides can combine to form a disaccharide. For example, glucose and fructose combine to form sucrose, more commonly known as table sugar, and glucose and galactose combine to form lactose, which is found in dairy products. You may know some people who are lactose intolerant. Monosaccharides and disaccharides are both considered simple sugars or simple carbohydrates. Simple carbs are easily digested and provide quick energy, which does not last very long. They taste sweet and are found in candies, pastries, and fruits, just to name a few. Complex carbohydrates are made of hundreds or even thousands of monosaccharides. An example of this is starch, which can be found in bread, pasta, and cereal, just to name a few. Complex carbs provide longer-lasting energy and take longer to digest because the body must break them down into simple sugars first. Bread, tortillas, rice, and sweet potatoes all contain complex carbs. Why exactly do you need to eat carbs? Well, your body needs carbs for energy. Carbs fuel your muscles for a big race, get your brain through a hard test, and keep your organs functioning. But make sure you choose your carbs wisely. Eat complex carbs rather than simple carbs and choose fruits and veggies over processed foods such as candy and donuts. Replace white bread with wheat or whole grain bread and white rice with brown rice. Let's move on to the next major nutrient, fats. Fats are greasy and hydrophobic, meaning that they don't mix with water. To be more precise, we can use the term lipids, which refers to fats in both their solid and liquid forms. We'll use the terms fats and lipids interchangeably. Lipids cushion and protect our bones and organs, help us absorb certain vitamins, keep our skin healthy, and insulate us from the cold. They can give us up to twice the energy that carbs or proteins do. And since lipids stay in the stomach longer than carbs or proteins, they make us feel satiated. So although too much fat causes obesity, having some fat can actually prevent you from overeating. The 2 common categories of fats are saturated fats and unsaturated fats. Saturated fats get their name because their carbon chains are saturated with as many hydrogen atoms as possible, while unsaturated fats have carbon chains that are not fully saturated with hydrogen atoms. How can you tell which fats are saturated and which are unsaturated? Since saturated fats have a straight chain structure, they can pack together into solids and can be found in butter, ice cream, and cake. Saturated fats can clog up blood vessels and cause heart disease. On the other hand, unsaturated fats have a bent carbon chain, so they cannot pack as closely together, making them liquids at room temperature, or oils. Naturally occurring unsaturated fats, such as those found in nuts, fish, and vegetable oil, are good for you. However, if they're constantly reused, such as the oil in French fry machines, the double bonds in the carbon chain flip from cis to trans. The result is trans fat, a type of fat that causes cancer and can be found in margarine, among others. Trans fat is also called partially hydrogenated vegetable oil. So if you see this in the ingredients, it contains trans fat. Cholesterol is another kind of lipid that makes up our cell membranes and performs other important functions. However, if you have risk factors for heart disease, you should try to eat foods low in cholesterol. Most people eat too much fat, causing problems like obesity and heart disease, so it's a good idea to avoid eating bad fats, like saturated and trans fat, and choose natural unsaturated fats, like those found in fish, nuts, and olive oil. Got it? Let's move on to the third major nutrient, protein. You may have heard that proteins are the building blocks of life. They make up your muscles and bones, allow red blood cells to transport oxygen throughout your body, help digest food, fight off diseases, and perform all sorts of important functions. Proteins are made up of amino acids. These amino acids combine in different ways to make many different proteins. There are 9 amino acids which the body can only get from food. These are called the essential amino acids. Chicken, fish, beef, milk, cheese, eggs, beans, tofu, and nuts are all protein-rich foods. Vegetables may be missing one or more essential amino acids, so if you're a vegetarian, make sure you eat a wide variety of protein-rich veggies. Animal meat and dairy products are good sources of protein because they contain all 9 essential amino acids. Americans eat more protein than they need, and many protein-rich meat and dairy products are often rich in fat as well. And as we've learned, too much fat can cause health problems. This is why fish is one of the best sources of protein. It is low in fat and contains good fat. To cut down the fat in protein-rich foods, choose leaner cuts of meat. Trim away the skin and fat. Replace your hamburger with a black bean burger or your meat taco with a bean taco. And buy low-fat or fat-free milk, yogurt, and cheese. So far, we've learned that our bodies can only get energy, measured in calories, from the 3 basic food nutrients: carbohydrates, lipids, and proteins. We've learned about complex and simple carbs constructed from monosaccharides and disaccharides. We've learned that unsaturated fat is a healthier choice than saturated or trans fat. We've learned about proteins constructed from amino acids and that low-fat protein sources are the healthiest choice. In the next video, you'll learn about the other nutrients your body needs, like water, vitamins, minerals, and fiber. These nutrients do not supply the body energy, but give us other essential items. Stay tuned and you'll be well on your way to great nutrition.